What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another video. In today's video, we got some reverse retro predictions. I'm very excited to take a look at these. I also, at the end, I'm going to do something pretty fun. I have enough money saved up so I can get myself 5 reverse retros, 2 of which I already know are going to be the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks. So I'm going to go through and pick out 3 jerseys. I'm going to pick out 3, you guys, jerseys that I would like to buy if they were to come true from these predictions. I'm very excited. I gotta do some shout outs first. I gotta shout out the win column over on Twitter. I will have a link to their Twitter down in the top of the description. Go check them out. I also have to shout out Boyan Demchuk. I believe I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I absolutely apologize. He's a legend. I'll have a link to his Twitter and Instagram down in the description. Go check him out as well. He creates some awesome designs, and I believe he's the one who designed these for the win column. I could be mistaken, but that's what I'm understanding here from reading this and seeing this. But I'm very excited. They got it sorted in divisions, so we're gonna go through starting from the Metropolitan Division and then going through them all. Before I get further into it though, as always, if you guys are new to the channel, it means a lot if you guys subscribed, like the video if you enjoyed. Let's get into it. So I personally am not aware of what teams have already kind of leaked or announced what they're going to be doing for the reverse retros. I know some people know. I personally don't. I don't know anything when it comes to reverse retros right now. I don't know what any team's doing really. So I'm going in kind of blind here. I'm very excited though. I still think this is going to be really fun to try to do some predictions here. Let's start it off with the New York Islanders, and wow. Okay. So they took the Fisherman, but they didn't actually do the Fisherman. They just have the Fisherman logo, the colors, but they don't have the same design. I do like the shoulders though. I think it's kind of cool. It is a little busy, but I still think it's pretty cool. I really like the Seattle Kraken vibes down at the bottom where you got the staged gradient, just the 2 there, of the lighter blue. I think it's really cool. I do think this is really nice, and what's good about this is it's not necessarily the New York Islanders, what's good about it is it's not the exact Fisherman, which I think the New York Islanders don't want to do, but it's still pretty close where I think fans will still like it. Next up is the New York Rangers. I think this is a one-up from their last one. I know a lot of people loved their last one, and I definitely did too, but I think this is a one-up, a step above. It's still got the Liberty logo on there, which looks incredible, but it's got some more stripage, which I like. I like the 2 red stripes with the white in the middle, and then I really like the blue at the rest of the jersey. I think this is very clean. I don't like that the torso is different stripes than the arms. I kind of would have liked to still see that red stripe go through at the bottom, but either way, it's very nice. Next up, the New Jersey Devils. I think this is kind of cool. I don't think it's as good as their current one or the first reverse retro, but I do still think it's pretty cool. I think the logo on there looks pretty good with the NJ. You kind of lose the red J a little bit in the green. It just kind of gets lost a little bit. But either way, I think the striping looks pretty good, and I think the shoulder looks good as well. So what it looks like for that New Jersey Devils is they actually took the concept from Kansas City Scouts and they turned it into the New Jersey Devils logo, which I think, or turned it into the New Jersey Devils colors and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. It pays some tribute to a different brand there. I think it's pretty fun. Next up is the Philadelphia Flyers. It's pretty obvious what this one's from. I think it's the Philadelphia Quakers design here with the Philadelphia Flyers. I think it's okay. I do think black and orange, just like that, kind of gets lost a little bit, especially when orange is the primary. I think if black was the primary and then they had some orange, it would be a little bit better. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's just my opinion. I think the more black than orange is better for this design. I like the logo though. I think the logo looks very cool. I like this one quite a bit. Next up is the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is what I'm talking about. I actually want them to do this because what this is you guys remember their Stadium Series or Winter Classic, whatever one it was, where they wore the blue, the dark blue, and the light blue jersey. This is that, but in their current colors. I think this is sick. This is phenomenal. I love the striping. I think the yellow and white, sure, they kind of mesh a little bit, but I think it works really good. The logo looks incredible. I love the scarf on the penguin there. It looks really good colorized like this. I like this. This is probably my favorite so far of the Metro. Next up is the Washington Capitals. Pretty much a no-brainer. If they want to make money and they want to sell jerseys, come out with a white version of the Screaming Eagle. Pretty much a no-brainer. They've already sold and made so much money off the red one that making a white one, just an away version, I guess, would make them a lot of money. And I think it's nice. I'm not a huge fan of their current reverse retro. I know it's kind of crazy. I'm in the minority, but I also feel the same way about this. I don't love it, but it's definitely not bad. Next up is the Carolina Hurricanes. I really like this, I'm going to be honest. There's not a lot for Carolina to do, and they haven't really had any new jerseys lately. They've pulled a lot of like Whalers concepts back to back. So I do think this is very, very cool. I think the striping works. I really, really like the grayed out shoulder patches. Carolina does that. I like it on their alternate. I really, really like it here too. This one would be kind of up on contention of wanting to buy. I think this one's pretty clean. Next up is the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I believe this is the concept from their current alternate jersey. I think this would be 10 times better if it was an off-white and not white. I don't know if Columbus can pull it off because they're not like a classic team. They're not an original six team, whatever, but it is a part of the jersey. People would get it. People would know that they're not doing it because they're like an old team or their original six team. They're doing it because it's pulled from that jersey. And I think if this was off-white, it would be sick. So that is it for the Metro. Let's hop on over and take a look at the Central Division next. A lot of fun teams here. I'm very excited. So first up's the Winnipeg Jets, and holy, I love this. I think the logo could use some work, but what they're pulling here is from the Atlanta Thrashers. I think it's so sick. What I do like about it is the Jet kind of almost is the same shape as that Thrashers logo on the jersey that they wore, so it kind of still works. I think the striping is super sick. Again, because they got the Jets on the bottom, I wouldn't like the Jet as the main logo. Maybe use a different kind of logo. You could maybe even use the Atlanta Thrashers logo if they have permission. Either way, this thing is sick. Up next is St. Louis Blues. I love this. If St. Louis did this, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I think this is better than their retro. What they're doing is they're taking the two shades of blue they use. So instead of going back, they're taking pretty much the retro jersey and combining it with their current color scheme. And I think this is super sick. Again, St. Louis only has so many jerseys to pull from. They've already pulled from their retro jersey by having it as an alternate and then using it for the reverse retro. That I don't know what else they could do other than this. And I'm going to be honest, this is sick. I know I'm already going to buy St. Louis, but man, this would be cool. Next up's the Nashville Predators. I would want this. This thing is super cool. The logo is very fun. I remember when they used this logo. I love the shoulder patch, by the way. Like, just the skull version of a saber tooth, I think looks so cool. I think this is a super mean looking jersey. I really, really like it. And I love that it's navy. Next up, the Minnesota Wild, back again with the subway concept. What they've done is they took their last reverse retro and they inversed it and they made it green now instead of white. I think it looks pretty good. Again, I didn't love their last reverse retro, and I definitely don't love this one either. I don't think it's bad, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. Next up, the Dallas Stars. This is a must, an absolute must. You have the nice silver silver design in there in the stars and around the outline. I think it looks so cool. This would be a must buy for me, I think, as well, because I just think it looks so nice, especially if they added the silver in there. This is what they should have done last year. They just fumbled the bag, and man, this thing's clean. Next up, the Colorado Avalanche, taking from the Colorado Rockies. I think this is very cool. I think it's a very simple design, but it works really, really good. I also think this could just be a super clean alternate jersey. It doesn't have to be a reverse retro. I think this would work as an alternate jersey just fine. I do think it's very, very clean. Next up, the Chicago Blackhawks. Man, this is an inverse to their alternate jersey, the black and white one, and I think this looks incredible. I would actually consider buying this as well because I just think, man, this is very, very nice. Next up, the Arizona Coyotes, and holy if they did this. What they've done is they took their last reverse retro and now they're combining it with their current colors and making a white version. I would almost like to see this in their current colors, but with burgundy as the main, or even black as the main, and then had burgundy for the mountains and stuff, and not a white version, just a black version. I think that would also be sick, but this does look pretty cool. All right, that is it for the Central. Now we're going to hop into the Atlantic, and we're starting it off with the Boston Bruins. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of this. Something about having white at the bottom of the torso, but then nowhere else except in the logo in the top, it just doesn't work for me. I don't like the different color striping from the bottom to the sleeves. I would have liked to just see the white remain orange, or sorry, not orange, yellow. I think that would still look good. I just don't like that color mix there for me. It just doesn't work. Next up, the Buffalo Sabres. I'm pretty sure they announced that they're going to be doing this as an alternate jersey. I could be wrong, but I believe their alternate jersey is actually going to be the blue one, like the light blue one. This one is taking a dark blue. It's a white jersey. I think the shoulders look fantastic. I think Buffalo fans would like this quite a bit. It's definitely taking from that red and black jersey, but just implementing kind of their old colors. It's not even their new colors. It's their old colors. I think it works. I just don't know if this would be something they would do because it's taking from their old colors. This is the Detroit Red Wings. I don't like this. I don't know what to say. They have a bit of an explanation. I'm going to read it. I guess it's from the Detroit Cougars. I don't know what that team's from, but it's a team that was in Detroit. I personally hate this. I'm going to be honest. Like, no offense. The design's fine. That logo is horrendous. That Cougar is on crack or cocaine. I don't know what's going on with it, but I don't like it. Next up, the Florida Panthers. This thing is a work of art. This is beautiful. It's pretty much this reverse retro almost that I'm wearing here, but in Miami colors, like Miami Vice colors. This thing is sick. You can't even lie. This thing is so sick. I would buy this actually in a heartbeat. Put this down on my list. This thing is sick. Next up, some Montreal Canadiens. I think this thing's very, very nice. I'm going to be honest. It's a jersey that comes from their Expos jersey, and I think this actually works really, really good. The colors look fantastic. I like it in white. The logo looks good. Thumbs up. Next up, the Ottawa Senators. I vibe with this a lot. That gold pattern in there and in the logo, I think just looks fantastic. I think all in all, this jersey looks really, really good. I actually am not a big Ottawa Senators jersey fan, but this is one that I would consider. Next up, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this is taking that crazy Storm jersey, but it's making it more modern and more Tampa Bay color vibes, where it's got just the black and gray. I think it works. Would I like the crazy one more? Yes. But would this be an okay choice if they did it? I think so. I don't think it's bad by any means. Again, I think I would like the crazy one better, but I think this works. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm going to be honest, the colors used here are fantastic. I'm actually a big, big fan of the colors used here. I think they work really good. And I would actually like Toronto to go to these colors full time because I actually think this looks really good. Next up, we're moving to the Pacific. I'm excited for this. This is my division, the Canucks division. Let's take a look. Starting off with the Anaheim Ducks. And I 100% agree with this decision. I could see Anaheim going this route without a doubt. It fits their brand and it's their current colors. I just think it works. Next up, the Calgary Flames. I do believe, actually, one thing I know is that they have already announced they're going to be doing this jersey. I like it in red, but I think I'd like it better in black. But again, I think the original's in black, so they can't really do that. So I think this would have to work. Do I love it? No. But I think it's nice and it fits. Next up, the Edmonton Oilers. This almost has to happen, whether it's for an alternate or a reverse retro. This concept has to happen. I think it'd be really cool if they used the silver that they use in like the LA Kings alternate with the same material as like the Vegas Golden Knights gold and stuff. I think that would look really cool on this jersey as well. I like it. Next up, the LA Kings. This one's kind of a no-brainer. This has to happen. They sold so much with their other one, the purple one, that this has to happen. Next up, the San Jose Sharks. There's not a ton they can do, so pulling from this jersey just makes sense. I do think it's super clean in black, and it's actually one I would highly consider buying because I think it's so clean. Next up, the Seattle Kraken, really their only choice. When you look back at Seattle jersey history in the NHL or just in hockey in general, this is the one you find. I think it's kind of a no-brainer that they do this. I would like to see it dark, though, instead of white, in my opinion, and the dark blue, I think would look a lot better. Next up, the Vancouver Canucks. I would buy this in a heartbeat. Obviously, I'm a Canucks fan. I think this is so clean. It's taking the Millionaires jersey, but using their current colors. I'm a huge fan of this. Next up, the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't love this jersey, I'm going to be honest. I think that logo is kind of a miss. I get it. I like the stars, though, in the bottom. I think that's kind of fun. But I do just think the overall jersey is a miss. And that's the last one, you guys. So now I got to go through and pick 3 jerseys that I would buy other than the Canucks and Blues. I'm thinking the Dallas Stars, without a doubt, is one that I'm going to buy. Ooh, I know another one. The Florida Panthers, without a doubt, is another one I'm going to buy. Zero question. And probably the San Jose Sharks, just because I think it's super duper clean. So there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. What of these concepts do you guys want to come true? Comment down below. Let me know. I'm super intrigued to see what you guys have to say. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, it means a lot if you guys subscribed. Like the video if you enjoyed. Thank you, the Win Column and Boyan, for letting me look at these and giving me permission. Go check out their stuff. It's linked in the top in the description. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.